I got a call from a family, and they told me we had a very, very big problem with our kid. We don't have money, and we borrowed from a gemach. And we saved up, finally, $500. It was in our clothing, thing. $500 there. And all of a sudden, the mother goes upstairs, hears her son talking. Yo, I got 5 big ones. Let's go out and get some drugs. And she's hearing, she goes to check her cabinet. The money's gone. He stole $500 from tzedakah money that we saved painstakingly to repay the debt to the tzedakah. And if you, needed it for a kidney transplant or something like that, okay, yo, having fun, let's go party, let's do drugs, like, mamash crazy. Of course, if you know the story of the kid, there's also a lot of pain there. He was in a program with like 8 kids in a public school, like 8 Jewish kids, and they were part of this program, and it's for troubled teens, a lot of pain and a lot of dysfunction. Fine. So she says, okay, what do we do? So the first thing, and I want to repeat what I told you before, the first thing is ask advice before you do something, not after. Sounds like common sense, but most people, I got to do it, I got to say, you're going to make a mistake. If you feel I got to, just saying I got to is a mistake. If it's MS, if you're going to do the right thing, you could do it tomorrow. You could do it next week. There's no emergency. No emergency. I got a call 2:30 in the morning by a very, very chashav Rosh Kail, and something happened in his house that we're not going to talk about, and he called me up and he said, I got to throw her out of the house. I'm done. Ad kan, ad kan. You know the Ad Kan song? Ad kan, 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 kan. So they wanted to do the Ad Kan song, and some people do the dance, but whatever. And so first of all, I said, wow, it's great. You know what he did? First of all, he called me. He gave me a chance. I told him, listen, it's 2:30 in the morning. You want to throw your kid out of the house. You want to do kares on your child. Okay, why do you have to do it right now? Go to sleep. Go to davening tomorrow morning. You're a Rosh Kail. Go to yeshiva and learn morning say to give your shir. Daven your mincha. Bein Hasdarim. Call me tomorrow in the afternoon. No, I'm doing it right now. I can't take it. What's the rush? Even if you would go to Sanhedrin to do kares, there's a process. It takes some time. Even if you have that Ben Sairi Umayra, there's a process. You can't just do kares right now. You'll do kares tomorrow. He calmed down, Baruch Hashem. By the time he had a breakfast and a lunch, whatever, he calmed down. Baruch Hashem, it worked out. Over here also, as soon as you're going to do something, I got to do, so automatically you're going to make a mistake, just like all of us. If you're in a rush, if you're nervous, if you're angry, you're going to make a mistake. Okay. So the first thing is good. Call me. So I'm so happy that they called me. We could think about what to do. I said, here's what I would recommend that you do. You buy a card, nice loving card, and you write, Dear Chaim, I'm so sorry, okay, that you had to go into my cabinet. What's it called, an armoire? What do you call it? Your what? Armoire? Any English words or only French? All of a sudden we become French. It's amazing. I'm so sorry that you had to go into our armoire to take the money that was there. Obviously, we are not giving you enough money. I understand why you did it, and I'm totally okay with it. I want you to know, in the future, whatever you need, please come to me and Daddy. We're always available for you, and we will try to give you everything in the world. But, and this is the twist, this is the chap, this is the part that's not normal. That's the part that if you understand KiP brain, you'll see how it helps the nefesh hayeled, and that normal seichel would never do this. But, my dear child, in case you ever see money and you feel the need to take it, don't hesitate for a minute. What's ours is yours. We love you so much, Mom and Dad. Some of you have a look of pain or constipation. You're like, what? What? Okay, so you got the normal part of the letter, right? And what's the twist? The twist is, and giving you permission to steal. The therapy world is going to go nuts and bananas on me and say, what kind of message is that? It's okay to steal from us? What are you, crazy? That's my therapy voice. The angry therapist, like, oh, are you crazy? How could you do such a thing? And that's a bad message, and he's going to steal from you. That's my advice. You ready for the super twist? And put $500 in there. We're here to do a tikkun. The next day, they called up the guidance counselor of the school, and she said, Mark, I just want to tell you what happened with my son yesterday. I want to tell you, keep you in the loop. He said, you don't have to tell me anything, ma'am. Your son, Chaim, came to school today. He handed me an envelope. I opened up the envelope, I start reading the card, and I start reading, and I'm like, Chaim, you stole money from your parents? He says, just finish reading. I read the whole thing. I look up, and Chaim tells me, I will never take a penny from these people ever again. You're talking about now, it's over 6 years. Never stole. The way to stop a thief, you could buy many books, many self-help books. They'll tell you all kinds of stuff to do, including kneeling on rice, maybe the ruler on the fingertips, maybe cutting off an arm, a nice little tool. It doesn't work unless you cut off both arms. There's a lot of different ways and tools and musar and fighting, but this has a 100% success rate in my book because it works. And the idea is you make, instead of doing something that in a KiP brain and many other kids, they don't learn a lesson. Instead, they just walk away thinking, I hate you, you hate me, and they steal more. You created a bigger wall. Here, you demolished the wall. I know what you did. I forgive you. He didn't even ask, he's not even sorry. Not only I forgive you, it's my fault. Because if I would be giving you my credit card and all my income, you wouldn't steal from me, right? And you should know, if you're ever going to steal again, it's okay. What's mine is yours. Understand? It totally kills the rebellion. Now, this alone, while you're fighting and criticizing, not going to work. It's part of TP. It's part of the whole thing. When you're doing TP and you're building the NKN and he steals, then you do that. And that's also, I just want to mention, people pick and choose. It doesn't work. Do the series. Do the 12 bombs, 12 weeks. Do the trips. Do everything. When you have a great NKN and then they do bad stuff like this mistake that he just did, that's when we do a very twisted tikkun and the kid walks away feeling closer to you than before and reverses the behavior, halavai, almost always instantly. Sometimes you need more than one dose, but it works. We don't have kids stealing from our parents. It's not chachma, it's bina. It's not wisdom. Wisdom, chachma, intellectual knowledge, as I read it in a book. Okay, you tell him, because you stole $500, we are deducting $50 from your allowance for the next 200 allowances, and you're going to pay us back. Goyish cup. To Goyish cup. We got to deal with this, and I'm giving you a fine, you're going to learn a lesson. Okay, maybe on a regular kid, I'm not going to get into it. Not on a KiP, not on a kid in pain, not on a suicidal kid cutting, depression, sick, or a kid that you want to be makarev because you shut down your whole business. Over $500, you shut down your whole geschäft. You want to be makarev the kid, let's say even besides for emotional pain and psychiatric pain. You want to be makarev them to Yiddishkeit. The Baal Shem Tov said the derech is lehoivaisam b'yoser, to love them extra. The lehoivaisam b'yoser stops because you made a geschäft over, you made a business a problem over $500. So you shut down your whole IV into the kid for $500? Doesn't make any sense. So it depends. If you don't know what you're here to do, and you have to teach a lesson, and you don't care about the relationship, and you don't have a job of lehoy vaisam b'yoser that nobody else can do besides mom and dad, and you don't have any bigger job, you're a neighbor, or you're a teacher, anybody that the relationship could end, do whatever you want. I still wouldn't recommend it, but okay. But you parents have such an important job to save their life and their afterlife. And you're going to give up your ability to connect, to have an NKN because they did a psanarish thing. That's like going over to a kid in the hospital and they say, oh yeah, you talk chutzpahdik? Oh yeah, pull out the respirator. In 5 years from now, we want your kid, halavai, much earlier. But look down the road. We want them alive. We want them healthy. We want them clean. We want them happy. We want them stable. We want them functional. We want them frum. We want everything. We have a lot of work to do. Along the way, they will mess up. It's not shocking. Everybody messes up. We mess up. We have a whole Aseret Simei Tshuva to deal with it. We have Slach Lanu 3 times a day. I'm not the only guy doing this. Al Chaitz, right? I looked around in shul. I wasn't the only guy doing this. I was very comfortable to say, oh, you too? Well, we don't sin. We don't mess up. Hashem built in to the relationship chet. He said, I know you're going to mess up, and I'm telling you what to do. Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, when they mess up in a very big way, I'm giving you the Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim. He's not like, whoa, surprise, like, whoa. We have to expect children to mess up. KiPs, who had tremendous pain, are going to mess up even bigger. It's expected. We use those situations to deepen our kesher, certainly not to ruin it, because in 5 years from now, you're going to look back, why aren't we successful? Because he made this mistake, and then a year later he made that mistake, and then he stole the car, and then he bashed up the car. So first of all, you allowed the dysfunction to stop you from fixing the dysfunction. You got to give the medicine in spite of the behavior, so the behavior gets better. So you end up without treating the behavior, you didn't change the behavior, you didn't fix the problem, and you weren't able to be mashpia with influence on the kid because you let the relationship go down. You're in charge of the relationship, not your child. They're going to mess up because they mess up. They don't really even mean it, lahachis against you. You're collateral damage. They're not trying to hurt you. This kid was just trying to have supper. He wasn't trying to do all those terrible things that he did. Okay? Other kid saw money. He wanted to go have a good time. He didn't think, I am Hareini Mikudeshes le steal from my parents. It wasn't his point of everything bad that he did. It wasn't his point. It's like your collateral damage. Sorry. But it's a good thing because they're not out to get you. So if you're going to let their dysfunction and all of their pain of their past and dysfunction allow that to get you upset or angry, and then you use that to destroy your relationship, that's on you. So what is parenting for us? Parenting is not letting anything your child does lower the connection that you have. You're going to be connected with love to your child in spite of what they do. But you have to teach them a lesson. So first of all, that's on healthy kids, maybe, not on our kids. But even with healthy kids, the biggest lesson is when you're super connected to mom and dad, you behave your entire life at a much higher level. That's the biggest lesson in the world.